Mind Dog is a service whereby we certify assistance dogs for people with mental health disorders. And the clients usually already have their own dog. We give them a training standard that they have to bring the dog up to. One of the most important aspects of having a Mind Dog as an assistance dog is the public access, because our clients are people who can only function with their dogs. They can't function without them. So that means that the dog has to be able to go into restaurants, it has to be able to go to the movies, to the swimming pool, to work, to the shops, to the supermarket, on the bus, on the train, on the plane. And because of the way that the Disability Discrimination Act of 1992 has been written, any assistance dog has the same rights of access as more conventional dogs like guide dogs and hearing aid dogs. It works this way. The handler trains their own dog to our standard. They pretty much train themselves. If a handler's blood pressure changes, if her scents change in any way, if she looks like she's about to go into a panic attack or enters a fugue state or anything of that nature, the dog will alert to that. And they will do it in different ways. Some dogs will paw at their handlers. Some dogs will push at their handlers. Some dogs will push their handlers away from what the perceived threat might be. Some dogs will sit and stare at their handlers. Some dogs will come out from under their handlers' desks at work and stare at them until the handler realizes that something's going on. Now, a lot of this is based on observation of the dog's body language. So that's one of the other things that we really, really encourage our clients to do, is to watch their dogs as much as possible, because their dog may well be alerting, but they haven't noticed. When we started it, we had no idea that it was going to tap into such a huge need.
Doogle is a Dogue de Bordeaux, a French Mastiff. He is 2.5 years old, and I've had him since he was 3 months old. Doogle does many things for me. Firstly, when he realises I'm stressed, he will lick at me. If I'm not responding to his lick, he will then actually go and collect my medicine pouch from wherever it is in the house. He brings it to me and then returns for a bottle of water wherever he finds one in the house and brings that to me as well. He'll then sit at my feet or on the lounge, depending on where I am, and he will paw at me until I've actually taken my medication, and he notices the change in my body. He will then relax, go to his bed and assume the sleeping position, which is his favourite position. He's quite a remarkable young man. I have post-traumatic stress disorder, major anxiety and major depression from my military service. He'll go to the house, go right through room to room and search that the entire house is safe for me to enter. He then comes back to me and asks for his reward. He's also protects me in places where I feel most vulnerable, so when I'm outside the house. Without him, I stopped going out totally. I was housebound, and he enabled me to go outside and feel more secure and safe in myself. I can go to an ATM now. The things that everybody feels are everyday things, I couldn't do. I felt as if as soon as my back was turned, I was in an unsafe environment. So now Doogle will stand behind me and give me that protection while I'm using the ATM, while I'm paying at a cash register, all those sort of things where I feel I'm normally hyper-vigilant. He takes over that role for me, and I can more focus on what I'm supposed to be doing. I also suffer from night terrors, from incidents that have occurred in the Navy. I wake up feeling like I'm still at that time experiencing the actual event. Doogle will lay across my body, and 80 kilos, you know that somebody's laying across your body. He'll lay there until my breathing has calmed and it's regular. I put my hands on his chest and I actually focus on his breathing, which is so slow and rhythmical, and that brings me back down to a level where I can then cope. And once he's done that, he'll actually get my medicine for me and then trot back off and go back to sleep. either enter the bed or down beside me. So he does so many unique things to make my life more livable. To be totally honest with you, and I must, on a number of occasions I've attempted suicide. Doogle has stopped me. All of the mine dogs, the way they are with their owners, you can see that it's a totally different bond than with your basic pet dog. And without Doogle, I wouldn't have a life.
If you were doing this and you saw something that she's going to react up ahead, before she sees it, you just say her name once, take 3 steps backwards and change direction. And reward her away from the thing that she's going to react to. I'm Gail O'Grady, Senior Trainer and Assessor for Mind Dog. I've been doing this with Mind Dog for about 3 years. I've been training dogs for about 35 years. I've always used positive methods and force-free methods. I'm a Delta Certificate 4 trainer. I also work with greenhounds, rescue dogs. I train adult, juveniles and puppy school. And I love working with assistance dogs. This is my passion.
Since I've met Buddy, he's stopped at least 8 or 9 suicide attempts from me. He reminds me when I have to take my medication. He warns me, he gives me at least a few minutes warning if there's a panic or an anxiety, if there's a panic attack or an anxiety attack. He allows me to leave the house because I have mild to moderate agoraphobia, and I can't even go to my letterbox without Buddy. My life has absolutely changed since Buddy and Mind Dog. I've gone from somebody who was completely or basically being shut in to somebody who I'm now able to go shopping or be able to do my groceries, go for coffee. I have some fabulous friends and I'm able to meet them for coffee and things like that. And I feel that there's a great degree of independence since Mind Dog that was never there before. Without Buddy, I just, life would just not be... in fact, I don't think I'd be alive if it wasn't for Buddy. And I know that I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for Mind Dog. They've just, the organisation has helped, they've supported, they've given me if there's been an issue or a problem, whether it's been in training or whether it's been through access, they've been there every minute, every step of the way.
Lucy is 7 years old. I've had her for 3.5 years. Lucy is now my assistance dog. She helps me with sensory anxiety issues. When I first began fostering Lucy, I didn't think that I would adopt her, but she began to help me with daily life. She would be my alarm clock, and she helped me to overcome a lot of the early morning depression attacks, and just the little things to tell me. She started warning me about my sensory overloads. So just before I got into overload, she would come and sniff at me. And sometimes when I was in an overloading space, when we are walking outside and there's a lot of noise and I'm heading for overload, she would actually just take me away from that. Lucy used to wake me up every morning at 5:30. I suffer from intense hypersenses, so I could never use an alarm clock. And when I've had to use alarm clocks to get me up, I always have to stay in bed for like 15 minutes with a very trying to get my heart rate down, and I'm nervous. I break into cold sweat because of the shock of the sound. So Lucy would wake me up at 5:30 every morning, very gently. What she does is to hover over me, and I can feel the shadow in my sleep, and I wake up, and then she put her head on my lap, and because I know that she needs to go to the toilet in the morning, I just automatically get up. I no longer spend hours in bed in a state of fear about going through the things that I have to do that day. So I just get out. And once I get moving, I'm no longer weighed down by the depression, the anxiety, and all the the fear issues. I just get moving through my day. So that was the most important thing that she used to do. I don't need that so much now because she's just taught me to get up. She senses when the lights are too strong or when there's a noise that will trigger me, and she will get up from her bed and come and have a sniff at me. If I ignore her and I'm too engrossed in my work, and she thinks that I am heading towards some kind of overload, she will get out of the space and try and distract me. If she's on a leash, she will pull me out. If she's not, she will go towards the exit and then come back to me and go back again at the exit, telling me it's time to get out. So that really helps because a few times she literally saved me from a serious meltdown. Please do consider supporting my dog because they are doing a wonderful thing, and they change lives.
We need money. That we're run completely by volunteers, and the only funding we receive is from donations. The fees that our clients pay don't go anywhere near covering the costs. The biggest cost we have is travel, 2 people, every state twice a year, 3 to 4 days, hire cars, accommodation. It really adds up. But what I would really, really like to do is to be able to employ a full-time trainer. If we had the money to do that, then the service that we could offer our clients would be so enhanced. It would be great. So give us money so we can employ a full-time trainer, please.